I've kind of had one race win like that in my career, and until Baku, it wasn't necessarily my most dominant performance or my best performance, but it's always the most exciting one. And I think now Baku takes the cake for that. But the emotion after Baku was special for different reasons compared to Hungary.
At the end, looking back, you can always do lots of things in a better way. And the result is we lost the win, probably because everything that has happened at that time of the race, stopping maybe a lap later, the out lap being struggling a lot to put the temperatures in the tires, not being aggressive enough because I thought that I would overtake back then with the RS. And when you put all of this together, that is why Oscar won. But it's simply because they've done a better race and a better job than us. So we'll learn from it and we'll try to not do these kind of mistakes again. But it's part of racing. You win some, you lose some, and last weekend we did lose it. But hopefully we'll win this one.
Yeah, we were really competitive in the second stint last week. Definitely surprised ourselves there. But I think now this circuit with that extra DRS zone, I hope racing will be slightly better. It's not going to make it worse. That's for sure, and maybe overtaking will be possible. So I think it will still go down to qualifying. That's going to be key. Getting a good Saturday in, and that'll set you up nicely for the race.
We've changed. I think the whole team has changed. How much we're celebrating, even a top 5 or just about getting onto the podium last year, and now we're celebrating 4 wins this year. Pole positions, that kind of thing. You get a little bit more used to it, the team get a little bit more used to it, but it still means a huge amount. It's still like a credit for all the hard work that we're putting in. But at the minute, we have bigger goals than just winning one race on one weekend. So I think we can be satisfied, but to be happy, I think we have to achieve our goal at the end of the year.
I'm confident that we can do a better job than last year, but at the same time, of course, also the competition has improved quite a bit, naturally. Yeah, definitely, I'm definitely targeting Q3, but let's see where we end up.
I think we got a good momentum in Baku. I think we definitely were in the mix for the win. We had the pace to win. So I think it's all positive. I think it's there's a lot of positives to take from that weekend. We had the pace to do so. I think now we have closed up the gap. And hopefully we can confirm that in a different track, different layout. And if we are able to do that, I think our season can still get back on track. So they're looking forward to it.
The good and positive thing is that we're within reach. We're within reach even after a very difficult middle part of the season where we got it wrong with our upgrades and we didn't develop well enough. Now it seems like we're back in the pace. But to be definitely sure that we're going to be back in the pace, we need to go to circuits where Ferrari hasn't been that strong in the past, like Austin, Sao Paulo, or things like that. No, I do believe we can be quick around Singapore, Baku, and the Monzas, even the Vegas. I think to realize if we're going to be able to fight for the World Championship, we need to wait until the other ones.
I feel like a bit of a resurgence for us. We started off slow. I think we made it no secret about the car being heavy and delayed. But as the years gone on and we've got the upgrades on the car, we've found our feet. The atmosphere, the motivation in the team is higher than it has been all of this year so far. And I feel like we can go into every race now, not expecting points, but expecting to be able to fight for points, which it just changes, it changes everyone. It changes myself, it changes the team. So it's a nice place to be right now. I think saying that, this weekend's not going to be that easy.
It's always nice to qualify in the front and to do a perfect lap. And it was the case in my second race only, so it's, I think, very exciting. Then the race was also, very tough on the tires. It was also really hot, but we could manage that very well. I think with very good work in managing those hards. I was the first car to stop, and I did a good job on keeping the hards and being able to run the full race with those tires. And yeah, I think it was a nice reward, to get those points at the end.
Obviously, we're still fighting on the championship, on the constructors. We are not as fast as maybe Williams and Haas at the moment in the last couple of events, and we still outscored them, which is very important to secure that 5th place. So, yeah, from time to time you need those kind of Sundays and results, but this is the past. Formula One lives always in the present or in the future, and now in Singapore we want kind of revenge again and try to be as fast as possible, being Q3, being in the points, and give it all.
I think these past couple of days, having to reflect on last weekend, because it was started off so positive. I was I was at the factory and doing the sim, which I don't do a lot, preparing. Arrived, and first lap I was on it from the moment, and then all of a sudden it just slipped through our fingers, and it was a miserable the rest of the weekend. And you can put it down to so many different things. I think but we all care so much. Everyone's working so hard. So I think more so is coming into this weekend and we're just going to give it absolutely everything, and whether it goes well or not, it is what it is.
I've been here before in terms of, obviously there's always been some speculation in the last few years, and obviously I was in this position with McLaren, and then I guess there's you build a little bit of probably a tolerance to it or a thick skin. So, but also I'm not the only one. 1 week it's me, the next week it's another driver that's fighting for their career. So it's also just how it goes. It's the merry-go-round of the sport. But that's it. That's what I signed up for.
I think it's just a very exciting chapter for Aston Martin. Not only Adrian, but other people that are coming on board. I think we're growing into a team that is setting up for a very bright future, and it's very exciting.
There is a deficit. There is a performance to be found there. I know the guys are working extremely hard to get on top of it, and it's never nice for anyone when we have reliability issues, not for them, not for anyone working for the team, because we all have the same goal. I know they're really trying their best. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out all the time.
Yeah, of course, it's strange seeing your car run around and watching it on television, but that was how things turned out, and happy to be back in Singapore for another great track. That was part of Baku is a really cool track, so I think it was a shame that it had to be that one, but this is a cool track as well, and one that I think we should be able to do well at. So looking forward to getting back in the car and racing here.
I think new floor what we introduced in Monza, for sure it will still work here. I think it's more, I guess, works well in mostly in slow speed, like we done in Azerbaijan and Singapore. I think still need to look into more to Monza, for example. What I had, definitely I felt not really fully comfortable then, more towards like high speed corners. So I'm not sure it will work, for example, in other tracks, but I feel definitely positive in Baku.
For sure, the overall efficiency is not there, and overall performance, as we can see from the results, but also the car is quite a bit on the edge, let's say, pretty sensitive to crosswind, yaw and roll, curbing content, uneven surfaces, which is something we do have here.
For me, it's one of the highlights of the calendar now. The original night race, Streets of Singapore. It's pretty nuts and special around here, but I enjoy it year in, year out. So we'll have to see what we have in store, but I feel optimistic and certainly excited.
At the moment, we are ninth, obviously, in the Constructor Championship. It's reflecting a little bit on the car's performance, unfortunately. The whole team is trying their best to try and improve the situation, but it's going to be a tough one to try and recover. We haven't given up. Obviously, we are giving it our best until the end of the year. And
firstly, I would say the guys did such a great turnaround considering where we were in the beginning of the year, and also our average pit stop throughout the season. Things definitely coming more likely from the garage side of things. But I think this weekend, of course, again we have the same package, and just to say fighting for a point, I don't think it's realistically very easy achievable results, but we keep fighting. I think there's a positive to take from Baku.